Girl, you know you're lost. Hello everyone, Ryan here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the new SZA album, Ctrl, or as what it's most popularly known as, Ctrl. SZA is what she calls herself, 20-something-year-old who is from the US, and she is an R&B singer, and she is on the amazing Top Dog Entertainment record label, which has put out some of the best hip-hop albums over the past few years. Without a doubt, I wouldn't even question that. Artists such as Kendrick, Lamar, Ab-Soul, Schoolboy Q, J-Rock, Isaiah Rashad, should I say, and also the only female, I believe, or one of the few females anyway, on this record label, SZA. Unfortunately, I did skip over that EP that she dropped a few years ago, titled Z, or Z if you're American. But Ctrl is her debut album, and I think that's a start with an artist, even if they've had music prior to it. And I've got to say, I was a little bit underwhelmed by this at first, but this is why you should always give albums multiple listens, because it has actually grown on me quite a significant amount. Ctrl is a very smooth and laid back album with a lot of great song topics and lyrics across the whole thing. At first I was a little bit disappointed with SZA as a vocalist. I do think she does sound a little bit lazy on some of these tracks. I think her vocal performances could be a bit better if she kind of put more emphasis on the singing at points. Vocally, I'm reminded a little bit of that last Rihanna album, Anti, where her vocals kind of did similar things, and I think SZA is a little bit similar on this album here. But the annoying thing for me is that there are songs where her vocals are so fantastic that I just wish she reached that potential on every song. Like the track Drew Barrymore, where her voice is so fantastic on this song, on the chorus as well, where she's like, "Woman enough for you." Like, she sounds really good, a lot better than I just did there, and I think that her vocals are the best on this song. And the song is about, seemingly, SZA is dealing with some insecurities about how some guys, well, it's not necessarily some guys think this, but she thinks that some guys don't think she's quite good enough and stuff like that, which is quite an interesting track on this album, because a lot of these songs she doesn't deal with topics, she's kind of calling out men for their hypocrisies. We get that perspective on the track Doves in the Wind with Kendrick Lamar, who puts in a great feature as always, and on this song SZA is calling out kind of men for focusing on the pussy, as they continuously reference on this track. They say that word so many times, but it's kind of a good focus point for the song, because it's actually mentioning that men will focus on that and the sex part of the relationships rather than the actual relationship itself, and it's done in a really clever way. It's just at first I heard pussy being mentioned so many times that it irritated me a bit, but once I actually checked the lyrics and understood the concept of this track, I actually started liking this song a lot more. The song as well has one of the smoothest damn instrumentals I've heard in such a long time. Like, this is so smooth, smoother than a baby's arse, to be honest. And the majority of these tracks do have some really smooth instrumentals. It's just, for me, I think personally I would have liked a little bit more melody in the mix, because at points it just feels like the songs kind of come and go. There's not really much going on, but a little bit more melody would have really made these songs something special. And we do get that melody on the track Prom. It's probably the closest SZA has come to making a pop song on this album. And it's also reminiscent of something from Frank Ocean's Channel Orange album. I do think the beat on this song is really upbeat, and I think that it works really well in SZA's style. I would have liked to have heard more like this track in particular, because I think it does fit her singing voice really well, but it is the song topics and lyrics that do keep me interested throughout the rest of this album, because there are a lot of good songs that are written well. The track Love Galore, which features Travis Scott, who puts in a fairly okay feature, I guess, but it's about how SZA is wanting to rekindle her love with a past partner, but she goes through this dilemma as she lists off all these reasons as to why this guy wasn't really any good, and how she doesn't really want to be with him, but at the same time she's kind of missing that love in him, and she does want to get back with him again. The track does get a bit confusing with the line, "Why you hit me when you know better," which kind of makes me think, why would you ever want to be with someone that's hit you? But, that's just kind of a line that makes me a little bit put off by the song as a whole, because, like, what is this guy really offering other than, the previous feelings that he once gave her, but then he really isn't worth anything if he's hit her. There's the track Normal Girl, where she's basically questioning how does she be a normal girl, how does she be a lady, like a traditional kind of lady, when she really isn't all about that. But again, it's another really well written song, and also a nice instrumental to it as well, which I do like a lot. On the track Broken Clocks, SZA is talking about the lack of time she has because of work that's getting in the way, and how really she does still have love for this other person, but because there isn't really any time for her in the day, there's just no way that this could happen either, even though that there is still quite a strong feeling there. I do think that this could be quite a relatable song for a lot of people, and that's the thing about SZA on this album that she does really well, is that she has interesting ways to tackle songs and to tackle topics and things that are in her personal life, and she does it in a way that is still kind of accessible for a lot of listeners who may be going through the same thing. I think my biggest issue with this album, though, is that a lot of the best songs for me are scattered around the album. There's kind of one great song and it's followed by a bit of a weaker track, and then it kind of keeps going like that throughout the album. And as much as there's a lot of great material on here, I just think that kind of hinders the album quite a bit. I'd still highly recommend this album though for R&B fans and anyone that's listened to anything off Top Dog Entertainment who enjoys any of that music. And yeah, I think that SZA has the potential to drop an album one day that I'm going to absolutely love, but for now I'm just not quite there yet. I'm just not quite on the hype for SZA yet, because this has been really hyped all over the internet, but still, it's still a B- for me. I think it's pretty good, and you should certainly check it out. If you like this review, make sure you like and subscribe, and follow all my social media links that are linked in the description, and also have a good day.